Hi everybody, Fred the Pirate here, and I'm here to review episode 7 of Attack on Titan. This was a pretty interesting episode. I have to admit, it kind of started a little bit on the slow side, but it definitely really ended on quite a high note. So essentially, what happens in this episode, we pick up right after last week's episode. They got everybody, all of the civilians, out of the city of Trost. But in this week's episode, we have a pretty big issue because even though they evacuated the civilians just fine, it turns out that pretty much all of the soldiers are trapped behind the wall with all the Titans, and that the Titans have managed to take over a pretty strategic point of the city where they pretty much take over this armory where they keep the gas tanks and these are important because for the soldiers to be able to use their 3D maneuvering gear, that they're powered by these gas tanks, and because the Titans have overrun this area, that the cadets that are out fighting all the Titans are starting to run out of gas, and so they're starting to get to the point where they can't, fight the Titans anymore. And it kind of seems like, thinking about it, it's like I wonder why they didn't use, like, when they made the 3D maneuvering gear. Like, I wonder why they didn't make it where, like, the 3D maneuvering gear ran for mechanical reasons. Like, because it seems really dangerous to have the 3D maneuvering gear have to use gas to run because, like, what happens? Like for example, you're one of the recon guys and you're not anywhere near where you can get gas, it seems like that wasn't really well thought out on, you know so I guess we found out the weakness of the 3D maneuvering gear is that they're great when they have gas, but if you run out of gas, then you're kind of shit out of luck. And because of the Titans invading Torst, a lot of the soldiers are out of gas, so they can't do anything. So we pretty much spend the first couple of minutes um, looking at the various soldiers, and they're all really downtrodden, and they're all really upset, and some of them are kind of just freaking out. But you do have a couple individuals like Connie and Sasha who are, and I think the blonde-haired guy, who I don't know, remember what his name is, but like they're kind of trying to rally people, and to get people to get moving. Um, but most of them just feel like, I think, especially I think with Gene, like when he was talking to Connie, he was like, I know what the situation is, but like I'm almost running out of gas. And he's like figuring that, to go in there, would be a suicide mission. And it's like he doesn't really gonna want to run in there, with his balls to the wall and he can go do stuff. So like he doesn't really want to put himself in a suicide mission. So he's kind of just like telling Connie's like, I'm gonna sit here for a little bit until something happens. But eventually, Mikasa comes, and so she ends up talking to Armin because she's trying to figure out what happened to Eren and his squad, and then Armin has to inform her that Eren and the rest of their squad were killed, and Mikasa actually takes us a lot better than what I thought she would take it. Like at least initially, like I thought she'd kind of like just break down and start sobbing because Mikasa put so much importance on Eren, so I figured she'd kind of start freaking out the same way Armin did. But she um ends up taking it fairly well. So yeah, after that, Mikasa kind of gives this rallying speech where she kind of rallies all of the other soldiers to start fighting the Titans, and she goes off, and that's when the episode really starts to pick up, where and she just starts killing a bunch of Titans, but Armin knows like she's kind of recklessly using a lot of her gas, and it turns out that she's a kind of tore up about Eren's death, which makes sense. I mean, although she did take it, like I said, she took it a lot better than I would have expected her to, but like she's still really tore up about it. And so she's acting fairly recklessly, you know, and so pretty much she's doing this thing. It's like where like if she has to die, like she's gonna go out fighting the Titans. Um, but really, she like because she's acting so recklessly, like she's putting herself in the a position to die. Um, and obviously, she ends up she killed like 3 or 4 Titans, but then she ends up running out of gas, and she ends up like slamming into the ground. Um, and for a second there, you know, she kind of just like this Titan comes up to her, you know, and she's really like she resigns herself to die, but you know her instincts take over. So instead of just letting herself quietly get eaten, you know she starts fighting. So while this is happening, Armin sees this, and so he goes over to try to help her, and then Connie goes in to help Armin, and then he leaves Jean, and Jean's about to go help him, but like Connie's like, no, you're one of our best guys, like we need you to go fight some Titans, and there's a lot of Titans up to the left, so like you need to stick around. Um, and so after that we see Jean go to this rooftop, and it turns out that a lot of his colleagues um, have ended up losing their gas, and they're kind of stuck there, and they're kind of getting eaten by Titans. And like, and Jean kind of just like he just freezes there because like he doesn't know what to do. And so, and he kind of asks himself while he's watching these people get eaten, and he's like, if I would have done something, these people would still be alive. And so he pretty much just watches his comrades die because he just doesn't know what to do. And which is really interesting because, like, during the training camp, he was such a cocky person. Like, you know, he's the guy who wanted to go into the inner circle so he wouldn't have to deal with the Titans, but, like, he was also super cocky about stuff. So it's kind of interesting seeing him be in a position that he not only did he not want to be in this position, but he's not super good at handling it. You know, and he kind of asked himself, am I cut out for this? Am I cut out for this kind of job and stuff? And so, and that kind of happens with them. And then we cut back to Mikasa where so she ends up fighting one Titan, and but then another one, and I think she kind of kills it, but then another one comes and is about to kill her. And so at first, like, we really think that she's screwed, but then all of a sudden, this other Titan comes and it kills the other Titan, like this really tall, like, really muscular, pointy-eared Titan um comes and fights and kills the one Titan, and like, which is really cool to watch. Like, it was, you know, Titan on Titan violence. Like, I mean, that was really interesting because like he didn't give like this one Titan didn't give a shit about any of the humans. Like, he was just, I'm gonna kill some Titans, which was really interesting. Like, and he was really different than the other Titans because like most of the Titans are kind of like, when now that I think about it, most of them are like really fat and flabby, and they kind of got like a beer gut going on. But this Titan was really muscular, and so far the only 2 Titans that I've really seen that have been really really muscular have been either the colossal Titan and the armored Titan. Like, those are the only 2 that are really muscular, but at the same time they don't have skin, which lets you see that they're muscles. So I mean, I have to wonder, like, if the colossal Titan had skin, like, would he be fat and flabby like the other Titans usually are? But this Titan, um, yeah, he was really muscular. And most of the other Titans, like, they essentially just look like junkless humans, but they look like fat junkless humans. So it's and like, and their ears are rounded, but this Titan, the muscular one, like his ears were really pointed, like he had like elf ears going on, and so, and he had like a really sharp nose, like most of the other Titans don't. Like, his nose was really sharp, but like most of the other Titans have more rounded, softer noses and have like more, like he was kind of just like he was just kind of pointy all over. Now that I think it, like most of the other Titans are kind of round and chubby and have very round features, but like this guy was just really, like, he was really pointy. Like, he had a really pointy nose and a really pointed chin, and you know, obviously had like the sharp elf ears. You know, and he was really muscular, so you can see a lot of definition in his limbs and stuff. So he was really pointy. But it was really cool watching two titans fight each other, and he had like this really cool scream. Like he had a scream like it's like I'm gonna like a really scary scream, but like it was like really cool. And at first, like I thought after he killed the one titan that he was just gonna go and mess up like kill Mikasa, but he didn't even care about her. And so like right after this happens and he goes walks away a little bit, that Armin comes and rescues Mikasa, and she tells him what happened, and then they see the Titan, another Titan come up like a regular one, and they're like, and both of them are. This one's like 15 meters tall, and so is the muscular pointy one. And so they watch the pointy titan fight another one, and he does this thing where the titan that kills the other titan puts his hands up like he's about to fight someone, and so he goes and he fights another titan, and like and Armin and Connie come there, and they see him do this, and they're just like blown away, and it was really cool because like it's kind of just really badass to see two giant monsters fight each other, so that was really awesome. Um, so that's pretty much while that's going out, obviously because Mikasa gained her will to live throughout this whole thing. Like she ends up apologizing to Eren, and she decides that she's gonna fight on and live on for Eren because that's what he would have wanted. And that she's not gonna die yet. That she's gonna keep on living, and that was certainly cool. Obviously, watching that one Titan kill the other Titan was really cool. Um, and I definitely want to learn more about that. Like, is that like an abnormal thing, or are there like other classes of Titans that like kill other Titans? Like, is that what they eat when they don't eat people? So like, yeah, that was really interesting. Although he wasn't eating the Titans, like he was just killing them. So yeah, like that was really weird, but really cool to see. So yeah, but again, that's where this episode leaves off. The preview for next week's episode mentions that they're gonna. It seems like they managed to get to the armory area where the gas is, where the Titans have gotten everything, and they say next week's episode, like they're gonna make a shocking discovery, like even more so than one Titan fighting another Titan. So I'm really interested in seeing what this shocking discovery is gonna be. So definitely looking forward to next week's episode. Hopefully it lives up to the hype of it being shocking. So. Um, yeah, definitely looking forward to next week's episode. So, with that said, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on things. So, um, please make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again next time.